Hey, what's good, everybody? This is Johnny. I'm back to. Trying to see what the camera is. Okay, so there. Well, I'm back to review Elvis Presley: The Searcher. I listened to the whole thing for the most part because it's a lot of previously released stuff. So I'm gonna try to make this brief to give my verdict on it. Okay. Well, like I said, it's a three-disc set. This is the deluxe version. It came out today. I got it today from Amazon Prime. It's good to have Amazon Prime. I'll tell you that. And it's the three disc version, deluxe edition. Is the single disc edition, and is the LP edition of this, which is probably two LPs. Um, if you're a big Elvis collector who buys everything, you probably have all this stuff on here. This is some rehearsals, and there's a lot of just studio recordings of his, um, and a little bit of alternate takes. But all that stuff, basically, the first two discs here they've been released elsewhere. They all have been released either through FTD or through RCA Legacy, whatever. All the other regular RCA releases on box sets in the past. This has in the, it actually has in the track legend in here when they're talking their information on the songs. If you read each one, it tells well what album it appeared on first. And even since then, a lot of them have appeared on other collections, so it's okay. Um, but yeah, so the first two discs, if you're a huge collector, most likely you have all this stuff. Or if you're just like a medium collector, you may have most of this stuff. Um, but really, the most interesting part about this release to me is the third disc. Um, it's pretty cool. There's two original scores from um, Mike McCready from Pearl Jam. He did for the film coming out. So there's two original scores, but they're really short. One's only like 3 minutes. Let me take this book out again. I'm gonna read. Um, yeah, it has the minutes on here. So really, there's only three unreleased tracks on here that are new um, to this collection. So you only getting three new things in here. So, but the third disc has three unreleased tracks, and the other ones are previous release stuff. It's from various artists. It's basically what Elvis was inspired by to do those tracks. So you get the original "That's Alright." You got "Mystery Train." Um, you got other "Blue Moon of Kentucky." You got other ones just "Walking in the Rain," "Blowing in the Wind." Um, Tomorrow's a long time. Somebody Harper Hotel. One cool track on here is, which I never heard the version, even though it's been released, was Tom Petty's version of Wooden Heart from the 90s, like 1995 or something. Or maybe just a couple years ago. I can't remember. But it's just cool because, Tom Petty just died. I like Tom Petty. But everything else, like I said, is from various releases. So you got three new tracks, basically. You got two original scores from Mike McCready of Pearl Jam for the um, the movie. And they're not long at all, those arrangements. The first one is called Disillusion 2. It's only 2.5 minutes long. And that's track one on disc three. And then the last track, track 20, is called Rebound. It's only a minute and a half long. So that's how long those two original score songs are. And but the unreleased track that's on here, which was really cool, but it's only just a minute and 6 seconds, is Home Sweet Home. It's called Home Sweet Home. Um, Gladys Presley, Elvis's mother, is singing the song Home Sweet Home. And you hear another voice in there was singing with her. But it's probably Elvis's father, Vernon. I don't think it's Elvis. Um, I guess the date's really unknown of when that happened. All it says is public domain, previous unreleased. So that's all you get of new material. Um, so my verdict of it is it's a good release. I was a little hyped when I got it. I think probably because it was just my first seal reveal, but I'm happy with it. I own a majority of this stuff. There's a couple things I do not have. Like there's the Burning Love rehearsal and the Separate Ways rehearsal version, and those are from some FTD releases I don't have, I think. And there's a rehearsal of, where is it? I think it was Burning Love. Oh, I said that already. I'm sorry. It's from That's from FTD release on tour the rehearsals, which I don't have. So it's cool. There's a couple of things on here that I don't have, other than the unreleased songs. So I mean, it's really you be the judge of it if you want it or not. Um, if you can look up a person does in-depth review of track by track and tells you where it comes from. Sometimes there's websites of that. Maybe you can find it and see if you want it or not, and if it's worth getting those three unreleased tracks. I mean, reality is it worth getting the three unreleased tracks for me? Not really, but I got it, and I have it already. So, but it's cool. It's cool to have. I'm really excited about the HBO documentary coming out. I think it sounds like it's going to be great. Oh yeah, and I guess I'll talk about the book a little bit. So I also read the text in this book, and it basically is first it's a long introduction from the director. Well, not really long. It's the first page. I'm sorry. And then there's a little essay talking about the making of the soundtrack. I guess um, Tom Petty's in it. Says a few words. Talks about the process of making the documentary in the beginning, going to HBO. Talks about Priscilla Presley and going to them and doing research of the movie to make the movie, and talking about what they're aiming to do, what they're trying to, what point it's trying to get across with Elvis in the movie. And then it goes um, Elvis the Searcher Part One. So I think it basically tells you a summary of the whole. It was what it sounds like. I don't know. I haven't seen the documentary yet, but it sounds like it just gives you a summary of the documentary and the parts. It really does. That's what it seems like, for the most part. But I think the documentary ends. The first part it seems like it's going to end with Elvis joining the army. That's what it sounds like by reading this. And you hear stuff from Bruce Springsteen in here also. Um, but yeah, and in between, like I showed earlier, there's photographs, of Elvis. So this is the closing of the part one. I think is when he gets. I guess is when he gets drafted into the army, or right before he gets out, or whatever. Because then here's part two. See him in interviews. So maybe it's right after he gets out of the army. That's where part two starts. So, and it talks more about it, going through the '60s, talking about him in Hollywood being frustrated. Um, yeah, it talks about a couple, and as you read through the whole book, it talks about the songs they compiled and goes into detail about the songs a little bit. So, and it's why they chose it, I guess. Um, but yeah, so and it goes through the '70s, let him return to Vegas, and talks a little bit about 1972 when he got a divorce from Priscilla and how it hurt him, and looked like he just gave up on life. It almost sounds like it seems like when it's talking about. So, but yeah, I mean, that's really the whole thing. And of course, the last couple pages are just information on the songs. So, is it worth getting? Of course, if you're a super duper collector, you're probably gonna get it. If you're a casual fan, you're probably not gonna get this. I'm if you're a fan like me who's selective, you may or may not get it. I'm a little bit glad I got it because except for three tracks, there's a couple other tracks I didn't have. So, um, and I think it's cool that they include songs from other artists on here. I think it's pretty cool. But those some of those tracks I do not have. Like I don't have Bill Monroe's Blue Moon of Kentucky. I don't listen to old. I don't collect old country like that. I have some stars, some country artists in my collection that are old, but not that many. And I like that you have the That's All Right, original That's All Right version, the Mystery Train version. You got stuff from Howlin' Wolf, the Blackwood Brothers, the Prisonaires, the song Rocket '88. That's like considered one of the first rock and roll songs. But yeah, but I think it's cool. I like the Tom Petty wooden heart cover. It's cool. And I think it's cool to hear Gladys. You know, 'cause you never heard her sing, and it's crazy. You know, it's previously never been released on anything else, and it makes you wonder how long they had that song before they decided to release it. I don't know if they just. I don't think they recently discovered it. I mean, Elvis has been gone for so long. I'm sure they've been through everything in his house and all his belongings. So, but yeah, there you have it. The Searcher. You be the judge of it. If you want it or not. So, it's up to you. So you have it. That's my review of The Searcher. Um, I guess you can weigh it out if you want to buy it or not. So, anyways, thank you for watching, and I'm gonna come back with you some new videos. I'm trying to think what I'm gonna do next. Probably the next thing I'll do is maybe I'll show my Michael Jackson collection, and then I'll probably circle back to Elvis and start showing pieces by pieces my other collections of Elvis I have, like memorabilia, music memorabilia I have, and just random stuff I have of Elvis. So maybe we'll check that out. All right.